There's no value, it's a bubble, and I promise you, and you're right, it could go to 50,000, it could go to 100,000, but I'm certain that at the end of the day, it will end up close to zero.
The greatest scam in history, adding that it's a pump and dump scheme like anything the world has ever seen.
To the moon or to the streets, guys. Today, let's talk about the biggest cryptocurrency in existence, Bitcoin. So unless you're like Patrick Star and live under a rock, you've probably heard of what Bitcoin is. It's the first and biggest cryptocurrency to have ever existed. And guys, recently in the past few months, it's been going absolutely crazy. It's almost up at $30,000 and it's hitting all-time highs. Just to give you guys a little bit of perspective, when I say $30,000, this is the same thing that was worth pennies back in 2011, 2010 when it was first created. And there are people out there that tout the fact that they bought it back in 2011, not knowing what was actually going to happen. And today, they're sitting on massive piles of cash, all because of Bitcoin. So for those of you that don't know what Bitcoin is that it's basically a decentralized currency. So the short definition, that basically means that it's not connected to anything whatsoever. So for example, if anything in the global market crashes, for example, the US dollar value crashes, Bitcoin would remain unaffected in most cases. And that's why people think Bitcoin is such a big deal. And people are going as far as comparing it to the current version of gold. And people think it might just be worth as much as gold is sometime in the near future. So let's go ahead and take a look at what Bitcoin has been doing recently. So 3 years ago in 2017, Bitcoin had an historic surge going up to $20,000 and then a historic crash dropping all the way down to $3,600. And now it's back at it again from its $3,600 low a few years ago, and now it's almost up to $32,000 as of January 4th, 2021, and people don't see it going down anytime soon. And now I finally did some technical analysis myself, and just a disclaimer guys, I'm no financial analyst, but here's my personal opinion of what I think will be happening to Bitcoin soon. So the main thing I wanted to take a look at is something called the Fibonacci sequence. So here it is, I drew a chart. Let's bring it up real quick. All right, there it is. So I drew this chart based on its last run back in 2017. And current day, as you can see, there's different levels to this graph. Each one is color graded. And the most recent level it's broken was the $30,250 level. And the next level is around $50,000. So what we're basically seeing is that once this $30,000 level got broken, the next level that it would have to hit is $50,000. And if it were to hit that level, it would keep going up. But that $50,000 is also a resistance. So chances are what could happen is that it could go up to that $50,000 and then drop straight back down, and that could be the end of what we're looking at as the current Bitcoin surge. Now there have been some absolutely crazy bulls for Bitcoin that have like multi-million-dollar price targets. I know that's not realistic, but you know, you got to keep the hype going somehow, I guess. So real quick, let's take a look at how Bitcoin works. So the way it's designed is that there will ever only be 21 million Bitcoins to exist. And modern day, as of filming this video, 18.5 million of those Bitcoins have already been mined. So what you might be thinking to yourself is, oh my God, Bitcoin's over. After it hits 21 million, it's gonna be done for.
Bitcoin is going to zero.
For those of you who don't know what I mean by mined, Bitcoin is basically a collection of multiple computers that's called a blockchain. And all these computers together create what's called a Bitcoin, and each computer is individually mining its own. And this massive interlink of computers essentially functions as the US Mint for what it does for the dollar, but for Bitcoin. For those of you now thinking we could make Bitcoin ourselves, technically you're right. We could just get on our computers, download an app, and start minting our own Bitcoin. But is that efficient? Not really, because it takes a lot of power to just make like 0.1 of a Bitcoin. That could take months to do. So no, we're nowhere near mining our 21 millionth Bitcoin. So there's this thing every 4 years that happens called the halving. And this basically makes it so that it's twice as hard to mine a Bitcoin. Historically, this has caused massive shifts in price, but this also means that the 21 millionth Bitcoin, if we continue at our current rate, would technically end up being mined sometime in the year of 2140. So no, technically not anytime soon is Bitcoin gonna be dead. So the reason it's called a halving is because it cuts in half. I know, right? It's crazy. It's almost like it's in the name, but it cuts in half the reward a miner gets per block of Bitcoin. So what that means in simpler terms is that if I was mining Bitcoin previously at 12 Bitcoin per block, now I'm only gonna be able to mine 6 Bitcoin per block, but I would still be using the same amount of energy I was previously. So in my opinion, the reason Bitcoin is slowly becoming so big is that it's becoming so much easier to own it. So previously you'd have to have these crazy like digital wallets and hard drives to hold your Bitcoin. Now I can just make a quick Robinhood account or a PayPal account and I can just hold Bitcoin in that. So that's making it easier for people like you and me that are small retail investors, and now we're just able to buy it with the click of a button. And as a result of all of this, it's attracting millions of small traders into buying Bitcoin, and as a result, the price of it is literally skyrocketing. So does that mean Bitcoin will ever replace the US dollar or gold anytime soon? Probably not, but people are willing to see that as a possibility. Bitcoin is still extremely small compared to every other thing in the economy, but that means there's unlimited risk and there's unlimited reward. So of course, invest at your own risk, because for all you know, Bitcoin could hit 35K tomorrow and it could drop right back down to 5 grand and no one would know what just happened. So guys, let me know what you guys think of Bitcoin, what your personal opinions are of it, and if you're investing into it. So guys, please remember to smash that like button and subscribe for that YouTube algorithm. I'll see you guys in the next video.